Let's focus with the people who join us about how can we support adoption, why we are not in contradiction and not in competition as third-party platforms to HEX, but rather implemented. And yeah, that should be the topic. And let's see who joins. It's not the last Twitter space. And good morning, good evening, everyone else who just joined. Just apply or request speaking if you would like to speak. Let's see that the room still fills. Still time to get a cup of coffee or tea or whatever. Everyone can just speak because if you're on an Android or iOS, I would also like to know what you guys are expecting from the space, what you would like to hear from FairHEX. Later on, I will introduce our guests. Of course, we will have program description about FairHEX, but I would like to talk about dApps in general and how can we support HEX adoption, not only through more holders or higher holders, but also how can we lock more HEX away in the official staking contract for the various programs that are launching. Everything you already read on Twitter.
I'm not a real tech person, but I noticed there's lots going on with HEX, and everyone's jumping on board to not sort of take advantage of it, but to I suppose boost HEX in a way.
Well, the current generation of new hexagons consists of people who have to decide between many interesting offers. So it's hard to see the forest for the trees right now because we have a abundance of interesting programs out there, or at least programs that are worth it to check it and to read through. At the time when HEX launched, I mean, some of us might remember that moment, that week, that few months after HEX launch. Of course, it was near to zero for a while until we had the first dApps coming up, until we had a few buyers. And I was part of one of the dApp platforms where suddenly were more than 1.5 billion HEX locked away. That certainly helped to take some of the market, but also these extreme buys that happened within 1 week, where everyone got sweaty and thought, "What's going on? I can't believe my eyes." And yeah, that was of course a hype. When the price goes up, everyone buys. Right now, it's a decision on quality and an expectation of when will there be more adoption on it. Good morning, good evening to everyone else now. All right, just request to speak if you have questions, if you want to talk, if you I'd also would like to start yeah, go ahead.
Do you think HEX will blow away its all-time high again in this next bull market?
I'm not sure. The crypto cycle might go up on time. That means also HEX will go up. But we have, as I just said, I think we have a lot of diversified offers right now on the market. We have a lot of offers, and if we reach that all-time high, it depends also on post-launch. It depends on the trust that is paid towards the whole ecosystem. I can imagine, yes. Why not? I can imagine it, but it depends on how the community also works together. And this is where we try to contribute today by talking about HEX. Yes, we are talking about third-party platform and how FairHEX works. We will mention SuperStake HEX, third-party platforms to apply them in general, but we have to talk about the adoption of third-party platforms, because that can help in the long run to lock more away early on, more HEX away, And that can be a good argument, a sales argument for onboarding new people when it comes to the conventional way of onboarding. But I can say myself here, where I moved to, I'm holding workshops regularly on crypto to locals, because what I hear is a lot of things where what are you doing? Yeah, I'm in crypto. Oh, yeah. My friend came recently and told me I can get more Bitcoin, and he wanted to give me his referral code. Don't do that, bro. So, lawyers talking to me. So we have a fund in Hong Kong, and I would like to contribute with some smart knowledge, but I don't know what to say about crypto, about Bitcoin. Can you give us some consulting on it? So yeah, I have a lot of local situations here where John Doe from the street and also business people have no idea actually what it is, what crypto is. Most people they only learned the word scam. They have no idea what it is, and so I decided to hold regular crypto workshops, and sometimes I'm invited locally in business clubs or organizations to wrap it up in 45 minutes, a little bit about crypto. So I'm there and give a short overview about it, what to be aware of, what to be beware of, and not chilling anything until now. But like 1 month ago, I started to push it towards hacks, to give them an option. If you want to do something then with more growth possibilities, then you know, don't accept any referral link from nobody, not even from me, but see that you apply not necessarily a currency what can make a maximum of let's say 3x in the next bull run, but look for something that can make a 10x or possibly more with a relative safe base. So, and then we are in the waters that we know. I'd like to introduce quickly. We have a guest speaker, Iceman. Iceman is founder and co-founder of or founder of FairHEX, which is another third-party platform. We can talk later about that. For now, welcome and thank you that you're taking the time to listen to us, and please get involved. Just apply for or request to speak, getting in a dialogue. But I can see that most of the people who are right now listening, you are in our Twitter space, right? And or in our Twitter account. So you're following FairHEX. And let me know either in the Telegram chat or here by speaking if you're interested to hear something about how FairHEX works, what we are doing, why we are just why we are clean, why everything is verified, why funds are safe, why it is another opportunity to lock more hex away, how you can earn, how you can prepare yourself better for the copy of your coins to Pulse. Yes, FairHEX, of course, will be copied over. Of course, we will be on Pulse. It will even work better there. Let me know your questions. I hope everyone has the link to our Telegram channel. Just post your questions there, and we'll get there if you don't want to talk. Maybe we start with something where the founders of FairHEX come from. I don't know who of you heard about Jukenair before. Jukenair was coded into existence by the very same developer who funded FairHEX. We had a history of 1.5 billion hex locked. It is still online. It is still profitable for people who joined early, and also if they are staying long enough in the game, they will still be profitable. There is a possibility to lose, not much, but a few percent if you're just getting in and getting out immediately. But that was involving fees, what we do not apply in FairHEX. There are no fees involved. So the total amount of hex that we helped to lock away into the official staking contract were about 4+ billion hex over the years. The founder of FairHEX, he coded the very first hex step. He was the first one who called out Hexy as a scam back then. And yeah, that was a long story. So we're basically on the market with a lot of different hourglass programs that are still running. Most of them are still running. All of them actually still run on the blockchain because they're always immutable. They're never we are never holding any admin keys. It's still there, and Trukiner is still running. And we had that was a platform with I think four or five different hex programs, also Tron. And what we do with FairHEX is no fees, now our class program. All we do is we're coming up with a new token that has a little benefit when people hold it. That is the reflection part. So that's the reason why people want to have it. But why it gains some value over time. But the point is you get it for free. Just mint it for free. Right now we have 400,000, roughly 410, 415,000 FairHEX tokens in circulation that are eligible to receive RFI rewards, reflection rewards, which we pay in hex. There's a total supply of 21 million. As you know, we have a bonus pool where at launch 90% of the supply were locked, and they're still locked there. It's right now we have 18.5 million, more than 18.5 million of the total of the supply is locked in the bonus and staking pool. That means that can be minted until 5 million minted FairHEX have been reached. After that, it will only be paid out as bonus on top of the official hex yield from staking. Just apply to speak if you have any questions.
So that last supply is getting eaten up quickly, so that'll finish pretty soon, will it?
You mean the bonus pool will be eaten up quickly?
Yeah.
Oh no. That's gonna take a while. Actually, see, we have 5 million that can be minted. That can be done very quickly. That can be eaten very quickly. If we have, for example, joining a whale or two, it requires 600 million staked hex for 30 days to mint that 5 million tokens. All right. After 5 million have been minted, there are still 13, 14 million left that can only be paid out as bonus on top of the yield. And that takes a long time. Actually, we have put that on a meeting topic for the year 2052. All right. So it's going to take a long time. On top of it, the origin address FairHEX is also minting. That means staking hex, minting, and the minted tokens we are putting back into the bonus pool. So it's basically a part of the, and that's quite a large account, a wallet, and that is flowing back. So it's not expected to be drained out within the next 10 years. What's interesting actually is for me personally, when we're talking about FairHEX, the price during the minting phase will go up and down and up and down. And it is good to do that because what holders of FairHEX want to see is that there is transaction volume, that there is trading volume, that people sell, that people buy or produce. And it is being bought regularly with every maturing stake. That means every time someone unstakes, the hex yield that is generated will hit the DEX automatically. It's not going into any other wallet first, but right away from the hex.com contract, staking contract. The yield goes to our DEX or to the DEX, is converted into FairHEX, and that's the buy pressure. So the price goes up. For example, we have this 8 million whale staking. Fine. It goes up to, I don't know, like $0.50 within seconds. And then he sells, for example. He sells the yield, but he keeps what he's minting. Okay, that's good. Who cares in a short term about the price if we can create RFI or reflection rewards? After the minting phase has been completed, of course, we want to see that the price goes up. Of course, everyone wants this. These are the normal expectations on a coin. But for now, I would not recommend to look too much on the price because the price is good as it is. We had, for example, 2 days ago, we had 33 cents. Then two people sold down to, what was it, 13 cents. Then we had unstakes and it pushed the price back up to yesterday's, I think, 23, 24 cents. And someone sold a few of his minted even, or all of his minted coins. Fine, good. He staked again 639 million hex. So he's interested in the whole game. He sold his FairHEX for immediate profit. The price went down to 5 cents. It invites buyers, and also it produces a lot of reflection rewards. I can say I have two wallets running with well above 10K FairHEX, and I made, I don't know, I think 7,000 hex within the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
So volume is really the key to keep things moving along.
Point. That's the point. That's the point. Volume is the key. It works with low volume, but it is more fun with a higher volume. Because if you have a higher staking volume, that means people who stake in the official contract through FairHEX in a high frequency, for example, every day 10 people staking, every day 50 people staking. That means also that every day, 30 days later, will be unstaking. And we have a section on the website which is called buy pressure. That is the to-date accumulated hex yield that is to be expected. And that builds up and builds up and builds up every day until people unstake. And then it is reduced from because it is being sold on DEX. So we constantly create buy pressure on the coin. And that's quite nice. So right after the minting phase is over, the abundance and the inflation of FairHEX stops actually. So then we might have some sellers, but of minted coins, but most of them over time will have a reason to hold, or they already hold. They have already reasons to hold. So now they're collecting RFI rewards in hex. Nice. So the next thing that happens is the next person, the next 10 people, the next 20 people unstake. The price is being pushed up. It's constant buy pressure on the token. So now we have only a staking balance of 15 million. I remember programs on Tucanair where we started with 250 million staked hex within the first hour. So the moment that we approach the market in a way that we get heard, where we receive the trust and confidence of the communities, I can easily see that we go up to 200 to 300, 400, or 500 million staked HEX. So what happens then? That means constant staking and maturing stakes. The moment they are unstaked, all the yield will hit the DEX, pushes FairHEX price up, and then hopefully the very same person is selling their yield. Will it push the price down? Yes, it will push it back down where it was before. But on first, or while it does it, it pays a lot of dividends for us, for every other holder. And that's great. So in the long run, of course, more people want to participate in receiving these HEX rewards from transactions. Fine. So some more will hold than sell. And I have a history in on BSC with reflection tokens, and I can say that much. A reflection token does not work if that's the only business model. It works much better if the reflection token is part of the tokenomics, but the main business model or the tokenomics is based on additional income or an additional influx of external funds. And this is given when we are staking into the official state HEX contract, where we already received the official HEX yield, and then we pay a little bonus on top, and the reflection is the icing on the cake. But it's not the core of the business. And that's the moment where we see those coins who use reflection as icing on the cake, as a little top up. These coins, they're doing well. Everyone else try to find their domain. They're already gone. Maybe that was a point which was not unimportant when it comes to price expectations. To everyone who listens, please do not buy the coin. Mint it for free. You get it for free. If you qualify for an airdrop, you get the double amount paid out until January 25th. We have this window open. And if you're staking, for example, a larger amount, let's say 150,000 HEX, up from that amount, it makes sense. Stake it, then do a sacrifice on our partner project of Super Stake HEX. Sacrifice $100 worth or more, but you can do it with $100, and that's the moment that you qualify to receive the double amount of minted FairHEX. So that definitely can make sense for you.
Where does the buy pressure come from?
Every time a HEX stake that is done through FairHEX is maturing, the staker wallet receives all the principal back in his wallet. You unstake, you get back your principal, but the HEX yield will go automatically to the DEX and will be converted into FairHEX. We add currently 39% on top of it. So now it's up to you. Either you hold it, you collect it in order to receive in the future more HEX RFI rewards, reflection rewards, or you sell it immediately because you're here to get more HEX, basically. You're not here to get a new coin on the block. What you want is more HEX. What we want to give is more HEX. We want to give the opportunity to have more HEX. And of course, we want to have a coin that flourishes, of course. But basically, it's there to serve HEX. So if you, for example, stake through FairHEX into the official contract, you unstake, your principal goes back to your wallet, and your HEX yield that you have generated plus will be converted into FairHEX, plus we add some FairHEX on top. And if you sell it, fine with us, absolutely, because then you have you sell it for HEX, and you create transaction volume, and you create a new reason for other people to hold on FairHEX because everyone will receive reflection rewards. So actually, I'm approaching a few platforms right now, third-party dApps, who apply similar tokenomics, who are using the hex.com staking contract as the center of their business. who are staking into the official contract for the official APR, and I invite them, do that through FairHEX, where you can receive the official staking yield, plus we add you mint coins for free, plus you get a bonus on top. So now you can sell your FairHEX that you have received as a yield immediately, and you get more hex than you would have gotten from the official contract alone, because we pay a bonus on top. Plus, you own FairHEX tokens that yield you over time reflection rewards. So it's good for small players. It's good for big players. Not too small, because right now I'm on our blockchain. I see we have stakers with, what did I see yesterday? 1,800 hex. Sorry, sir. That doesn't make sense. You're paying too much in transaction fees. But if someone, I think up from 25, 30, 40,000 hex, it makes sense. As long as your transaction fees don't surpass your expected yield, plus the value of the minted coins. And that's actually the point what I announced before. Let's talk in general about the landscape, about the investment landscape when it comes to hex, when it comes to which cryptocurrency should I go in, which should I keep it liquid, if I'm holding hex, should I stake it? And people sometimes they hear you should stake for 5,555 days. You should do that in order to make the maximum sense of it. It doesn't make that much sense if you're staking short term. Yes, what should I do with my hex now? I'm confused. I don't have someone around. I'm not really a hardcore crypto guy. I just hold my hex. And for example, in this case, and what should I do with my hex? I better keep it liquid. So I stay more flexible. Why should I put it somewhere for 1 year? I don't know what's going on in 1 year. So we have, for example, the option. I think it's the same in Superstake. We have 30-day cycles where we say, stake it short term. You get some extra on top of it that justify the transaction fees. Plus, you receive a free minted token. And once Pulse launches, you have to double it over there. This is how we prepare for a new chain. This is how we prepare even if there is no new chain. This is how we worked in the past with no expectations on another chain. Fine. So I'm not saying I doubt on that. I'm just saying if there's a new chain or not, we still have one single goal in crypto. We want to accumulate. We want to get more and more and more coins without necessarily always coming with fresh fiat money.
So that's interesting. So just by staking through the FairHEX, you guys utilize the actual hex contract, and then somebody gets a bonus being able to mint the FairHEX.
Yes. 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 That is the history of the developer and me. Actually, we were always applying the official contract. There are videos out there. I don't know videos or video, but there are videos that okay. There was a person who was called the founder and who is officially the founder of Tucanair. All right. And that individual is rather infamous than famous, but the program was conclusive and was clean. But the developer only created programs where we are implementing the official hex staking contract. And once the program has been coded into existence, the program is closed, open source, no admin keys. So yes, we are always applying the official hex staking contract, because that's the way most crypto projects they fail. They are creating a value out of nothing, or they give it a meaning. You come and say, oh, okay, we have a good idea. That was the ICO situation a couple of years ago. We have a good idea. We want to promote our idea, and our idea is the value behind it. We are backed by our idea. that's not the case with FairHEX, or that's not the case with all the programs that we had launched before. That were the reasons why we had a locked volume of more than 4 billion hex in all the programs before, or which are still running. So the point is, if you stake, if we are staking, or if the staker stakes into the official contract through our platform, there is an external value, and that means we are backed basically by the hex contract. Where do you have that? So we have a constant income, or incoming flow of revenue, and that can create, if you apply it smart, in this case we use it as a buy pressure on our token with the intent that people sell it again. It's not the intent, hodl, don't sell ever, and then you have a bunch of third-party coins that, how we call that. It doesn't make sense. You should sell it. Once you get it, sell it for your hex. You have more hex, and at the end, everyone has a little bit more hex because we have a little tax on it. How much is the tax? 5%. Half of it goes to the LP. The other half is distributed to holders according to their holder share. Does it hurt the seller? No. We give them 39% on top of it, on top of their official yield. So it's a fair deal. And recently I got a good question if we are not cannibalizing actually hex itself, because if we are selling the hex yield on DEX, that creates sell pressure on hex. Yes, it does, but it also is the case that first we have buyers. Secondly, we encourage people also to sell their yield. So a good percentage of people who receive their yield in FairHEX will sell back for hex, which is good. And also, when it comes to hex adoption, I said at the beginning, I'm out there and I'm holding workshops where I actively get new hex holders. And suddenly I'm here. We have 2 police stations where everyone suddenly started to buy hex in order to participate in our program, or who are just holding hex for now, and they still have to be guided to participate in our staking. These are rather small amounts, but I also have one larger one. It's a businessman here. So I actually introduce hex because of its possibilities, because of FairHEX. So locally, I'm doing a lot, and I'm always willing for in admin meetings to talk about it and to give guidance on how to make how to set up local workshops. How to, for example, the next thing what I'm planning is not only in a small frame, but also to invite about 200 to 300 listeners to a bigger hotel here and give a complete presentation offline. I come from offline. I was in direct sales, and I always like to have 300 or 200 people sitting there making a 2.5-hour presentation. A certain percentage will buy. The more conclusive it is, the more they keep their value and not just buying a consume good. They are fine. A certain percentage always buys and invests. And that supports Hex, that supports our local platform. It supports the creativity in the whole space because I always believe in combining offline activities with online offers. We know that old thing, I think that was motto since the first days of internet. If you do something interesting outside the internet, you're interesting in the internet. And I think that applies also to sales and to products. Hello, Benjamin. If somebody wants to talk, if somebody wants to say something, asking, saying, just don't hesitate, request to be a speaker.
I know 5 million of 21 million FairHEX can be minted. What happens after that? Where comes the additional bonus?
Good question. We have currently bonus pool, or out of this, let me explain you how our tokens are distributed. 21 million is 100% is the total supply. 5% of it was held back for possible airdrops over time. 5% is in custodian wallets for marketing over time, for feeding the LP, for different things. They are not hitting the market anytime soon. And 90% were locked in the bonus pool. The bonus pool is the one that we are paying bonus from, and also what we are paying the minted FairHEX out from. So that means we started at launch with 18.9 million in the bonus pool. And so we are paying the minted out of that, and also the additional bonus on top of the yield. That means like 18.9 minus 5 million, there are still a lot of millions to be paid out as a bonus. Hold on, I saw someone was requesting to speak. Yes, so from the bonus pool, and that takes many years, since also our origin address is staking into the pool. That means all the coins that we mint, all the coins that it yields, is going back into the pool. That prolongs its lifetime. But we can expect to make this to an important meeting point in the year 2052. Until then, there is enough volume in the bonus pool. So yes, good question. But the minting phase requires about 600 million stake tax in order to mint 5 million FairHEX. And after that, we have every staker can decide the length and the size of their stakes as they wish. For now, we have it limited to 30 days. And that is actually because we approached a lot of people who are qualified to receive an airdrop and to not exploit it too much. We said, let's limit it to 30-day stakes maximum. Otherwise, people are staking, and then we pay the same amount what they have minted on top of it, and that would increase the inflation extremely. So we said 30-day stakes is the max during the minting phase, and once the minting phase has been completed, the staking phase begins, and yeah, that means open end, as long as someone wants to stake. So we are open source, and the contract is closed. That means also we are not hosted on a normal hosting service, but we are on chain, IPFS. So that means it's there. It's there forever. We will not have any downtime. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you explain how FairHEX is fair? I know there might be concern that whales might have the majority of the tokens again.
Oh, they will. They will. Absolutely. Who comes with a lot will have a lot. That's capitalism. Okay. That's also math when it comes to ratios. But compared, and this is not we are better than Hex, but in Hex is you have a longer stakes better and bigger pays better, right? Longer pays better and bigger pays better. In our case, doesn't matter if you're bigger or not that big. You receive the same bonus on top of it. That's a little aspect of being fair. What's fair is you can also come up with a very interesting game theory and strategy, how you leverage your own position. Let's go into some game theories. For example, what do you do? For example, someone just bought, or someone unstaked the yield, a whale unstaked, or a bigger player unstaked. The price goes up, let's say 20 cents higher than it was before. Your stake matures. What do? Are you unstaking right now? Because your yield will be converted into FairHEX according to the real-time price on DEX. So now you would receive less FairHEX as a smaller staker, for example. What do? Either you are selling into that high price in order to bring the price down. You have a lot of hex, but you don't have FairHEX anymore. But if you unstake now, or you wait until someone else, you are a little bit patient, you wait a few hours, someone else might dump into that price, which is good, because then your price, for example, I give you an example with numbers. A 1 million stake unstakes now, and our price goes from 5 cents to 20 cents immediately, because the yield will be sold hex to FairHEX on DEX. The price is 20 cents. You get much less if you are unstaking now as a miner. You'll get much less FairHEX for your hex. So if you wait a few hours, someone might sell it down back to 5 cents, to 10 cents, or to 13 cents. If you unstake that moment, you get much more FairHEX. That means much more reflection rewards. So we have a lot of game theories. If many stakes unstake at the same day and no one sells, the last person who unstakes will get the least number of FairHEX. But if everyone sells, then he gets the max number of FairHEX. So a lot of game theory, a lot of playing around and wrapping his mind around can make someone much more money. Why is it fair? Because you get more than from hex alone. And we are not differentiating between bigger or smaller stakes. Yeah, that's basically it. And you can apply your intelligence and your cleverness in order to leverage the yield that you have.
Then if the hex yield is converted to FairHEX, will that create additional sell pressure on hex?
Hold on. If the hex yield is converted to FairHEX, yes, it will. It does create sell pressure on hex for a certain time, until either the staker decides, okay, I don't want to have the FairHEX, I want to have more hex right now. That might be half of our wallets, half of the stakers, who doesn't want to accumulate FairHEX. They say, I don't care about the reflection in the future. I want to have my hex right now. I want to have a higher yield right now. And they sell. The other half will hold. But for them, we have people who might sell again. So the sell pressure is not 100% on hex. It might be even out or slightly. But actually, we are talking about an elephant and a mosquito. We are the mosquito, and hex is the elephant. So actually, we are not talking about a significant amount of sell pressure, but rather about the significant amount. For example, if we are creating every day 100 transactions, it's good for hex. It is more transactions on hex, even if there is a little sell pressure, but we also buy back the hex. And the moment that there is a reflection reward to be paid out, for example, someone is selling his FairHEX to hex, we also tax that sell, that transaction, and have to buy hex for it in order to distribute it to all the other holders. So yeah, yes, and then it goes vice versa. It goes back to hex as a buy pressure. So we have it both ways, and that's why I think it is absolutely fair. I got this question recently, and I thought it was very, very good question. And I also thought about this before we launched. Are we not creating a sell pressure on hex? What are we doing with hex? And no, it evens out. It's actually very smart, and When I joined the project, I was many weeks, I think 2 or 3 months before we launched, and I saw who invited me to be a co-founder of it. I was amazed, and I said, "What? We are talking with that developer. Let's see what he came up with. It must be ingenious." And I was amazed what I found there. Yes, it's the ingenuity of the developer, basically, that caught my attention, and the reputation of the developer. Please, people, request to speak if you have questions. If you can also ask your question in the Telegram chat. Also, when it comes to price development and inflation, we don't need to go into details right now, but the point is that if HEX, for example, gets expensive, we have a high price, the inflation drops, to keep it short. If FairHEX price goes down, the inflation increases. If there are no stakers, that means there is no unstake, there is no minting, there is no payout of bonus. That means there's zero inflation. If there are stakers, we have a lot of inflation, but also buy pressure on the coin. It's so conclusive. I love it. So it's absolutely, actually, in this case, you can say it's a fair program for everyone, because yes, whales will scoop the majority of coins. That's a given. And they will also scoop the majority of the holder share when it comes to reflection rewards. But bottom line is everyone can earn, everyone can mint, everyone can sell if they want. They can hold for the expectation of reflection rewards. It's fair, and the percentage is more than from HEX. So, and we are never in possession of the HEX stake or staked HEX, because they go right through our portal into the hex.com staking contract.
So using the hex contract, that makes it more safer to, less. What am I trying to say? Makes it more valuable on the safety sort of side. Thanks.
Well, yes, it has been reviewed by the Pulse Police that this is the case, that it's not something that we are just claiming to happen, but this is really happening. And that means we have a Pulse Police reviewed contract address. That means it is going right from our platform into the HEX staking contract. So if we would intend to scam, for example, we don't, because we want to be on the market for a while. We want to keep our reputation for better things than a scam. So, but if we would like to scam, we can only scam on the yields, because we are never, ever, 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 ever in possession of the HEX principal that someone's staking. That goes from from their wallet through our platform into the hex.com staking contract. So now there is this point sometimes coming up. The MetaMask or our contract is asking to approve all the hex in your wallet. Yeah, it has to do where we want to save you from approving every time you stake. You can set it if you want. You can set it to manually, that you have to approve the specific amount in MetaMask each time that you want to stake. You can do this manually, no problem. But otherwise, every time you stake, normally you have to approve and you have to stake. So you have two transactions to pay in order to cut one away, the approval. Our contract is asking to approve all the stake, but you can manually set it to the specific amount only. But yes, that's actually a very good question, a very good point, because we are never, ever, ever in possession of your HEX. Our program has an influx of capital, and that is the HEX is your and our. I'm also a player. Our HEX yield, and that yield is hitting the DEX. That gives buy pressure on our token. And then we encourage people even to sell our coin. because there is incentive enough that a good number of people is holding their coin, FairHEX. But we even tell people, yes, why not? Please go and sell it. It creates hex rewards for everyone else. And that actually in return creates more incentive to hold FairHEX. So now we're gonna have a very strong inflation during the minting phase. And sometimes we heard, how can a coin that is given out for free create value? How do you expect to have value? Look at your price. We don't care currently about the price, and I encourage you to have a second look if you care about the immediate price, because the price matters after the minting phase. But for now, we don't care that much about the price. Yes, there might be opportunity from day to day for some players, but basically to sell for a nice little extra profit, or if they are short in their rent or whatever. But basically, stake more stake for a higher APY in total, plus in order to mint FairHEX. You can sell it, you can hold it for RFI. But once the minting phase is over, FairHEX will be scarce. But you still get your official hex staking APR plus a bonus. And the bonus is between 20 and 40%. And that depends on the staking volume that we have. And we have on our website, we have in the FAQ, we have bonus table where you can see the amount of what has to be staked in order to receive what kind of bonus. But it's the total staking balance, and it's not an individual staker. A staker's balance. That means it's fair, it's good, it's valid for everyone. So currently we have 39% that we are paying on top of the official yield. And that's fine. The higher the staking balance goes, the lower the price, the lower the bonus, down to 20%. If there are more than 200 million hex staked at the same time. So I think there was a lot about FairHEX, and I encourage you guys, please, if you have any question, then come back to FairHEX. But I would like to talk about Hex itself and its adoption. And what we see is that people, individuals, spending a lot of money, a lot of energy to promote Hex, be it on with football, or in America you say soccer clubs, up to website marketing and newspapers, on buses. We are spending a lot of effort on advertising Hex to the next buyer of Hex, to the next holder of Hex. And some do it, and it works. It is marketing. That means the sky is blue, water is wet. If you do advertising, you have customers. But do we need customers necessarily? How is the ratio of our effort, of our marketing effort in a bear market to the return of our investment? It doesn't make much sense during a bear market. It amazes me every single cycle, crypto cycle. When the prices go down, nobody buys, nobody is interested, nobody has learned from the past 50, 100 years, but everyone is chasing the Bitcoin when he's already at 50, 60,000. That's why we have the fear and greed indicator. When Bitcoin was 60,000, 65,000, everyone said, hold, we're going to the next 100. I mean, you heard the same sentence in the past few weeks, in the past year, actually, from everyone else. But it amazes me why people, when the streets are bloody, why they are not buying there for cheap. So, but it's a given. We do not have much adopters, new adopters during a bear cycle. But what can we do? We can offer a better platform, a wider ecosystem where the current holders have an encouragement to lock away their Hex for short-term gains, or short-term for long-term gains, actually. So this is where third-party platforms come into the game. And I really like that point with that we have, for example, you saw Iceman as a speaker. He's the founder, for the new people. He's the founder of FairHEX. It is another ingenious platform where people get daily hacks paid out as dividends for their participation. If you go to Superstake later on, and if you sacrifice with them more than $100 value, then you are qualified to receive the FairHEX airdrop. The airdrop window closes on January 25th. And that means so whatever you are minting, you get manually on top paid of it. That means, for example, you're staking 1 million hex, you get 8,333 FairHEX minted. We pay you another 8,333 on top of it if you qualify. Any questions so far? Please don't hesitate. You can apply for speaking if you have questions.
I haven't got a question, but I'd just like to add something. It's just a little thing I would say. During the bear market, it's this is when you go on your shopping sprees and you grab everything you can at a cheap price.
Yes, absolutely. Newer participants in crypto, I don't know how they perceive it. Maybe some of them, they understand this the opportunity. Many people are influenced still by the public sentiment. If something is down, we feel depressed, we shouldn't invest, and they listen to the media. I don't know. It is so irrational. When I was 10 years old, I heard about I forgot even his name. I heard about one great stock investor who always said, I do it different than everyone else. I'm buying the blood in the street. And I said, why is this different actually? When I was 10 years old, why are people buying when the price is high? It's a phenomenon, but they should buy when the price is low. Maybe they are waiting until the prices are lower, and then they're missing the point, because nobody in the whole world knows when is all-time low. Or not all-time low, but the cycle's low. That's why we DCA. Yes, I sold my hex last year when it was 42 cents. Guess what? I bought a huge truck for construction. I bought a delivery truck. I made several other investments. I held some in liquid, and I bought back a couple of weeks ago for 3 cents. Do I cry because the price right now is at 2 cents? No, but I bought much more back than I had before. So yes, we should be smart with the money that we have. I mean, why not work with it? There is no religion behind it. There shouldn't be any dogma. So be smart, buy when you want, when the prices are low. Will we always catch the lowest price? Maybe not. But will the price always remain at 2 cents? Maybe it goes down to half a cent. Who knows? But eventually it will be back up at 10 cents, 20 cents. And that will happen. Because it's not a question. What I learned in DeFi is there is too much attention to the how you call this, to the idol, to the leading figure. DeFi is there to eliminate, not the middleman, to eliminate the leading figure. The moment that people are educated enough to make sure, okay, how safe is my fund, and how much profit can I make with it? These are the two facts. Actually, they have there has to be a competence for all the crypto holders, crypto enthusiasts. How safe is it, and what can I do with it? If I cannot do anything, crypto is not interesting, or at least as an investment. If I can do something, is it safe? Why is it safe? How much do I have to learn? to make sure. So recently there was a question: what coin would you recommend to a newbie, to someone who is new in crypto? The usual question. Yeah, take 50%, put it in your education, and then let him decide what he comes up with after he learned for 50% of his investment. All right. So I think Hex has a very strong buying argument or sales point, and that is unique selling point, and that is it has a huge yield, and we apply that yield. It is safe, and we top it up that people are not afraid of 5-year staking, but you can stake for a short period of time. You mint a free coin, you get it for free. You get some bonus on your yield. It might, the moment that Pulse is launching, it will be copied. You can sell it, you can keep it, you can do whatever you want. It's tradable. It is all good. So I hope that we can inspire some of you to have a deeper look. If you are a hardcore Hexacan, then have a deeper look on what opportunities are on the market. Yes, I represent FairHEX. Yes, we have Iceman who represents Superstake Hex, but there are other projects on the market. Have a deeper look, verify them carefully on their safety aspect, what they are doing, how you can benefit from it, and help other Hexicans to involve into that mindset of, yes, there is the hex code, which on purpose has been opened to build on top of it. There is a reason for it. There are videos out there where Richard Hart even says we have kept it open that people can build on top of it. Some are, excuse me, to use his term, retarded projects. Some are scams, and we have to be aware what we have to check with. It's up to our competence. And then there are, I think the majority of programs, they are absolutely clean. At least they have a good intention. Sometimes the tokenomics works out, sometimes not. But there are a bunch of projects where nothing can go wrong with your staked hex. And this is, for example, right now with FairHEX, because we are not in possession of your hex. You're staking into the hex.com contract through our portal. You get free coins on top of it during the minting phase and also during the bonus or as a bonus for your yield. Please verify the market. Let's help to open up the minds of Hexicans. There is no dogma, no religion behind it that says only hex and only with our profit it works. It works as the code describes it. That's why it's good. And with all respect to Richard Hart, and I like the guy, I love his arrogance, actually, because usually he's right. But we don't need a leader in DeFi. I was working with some infamous person on other projects before until I refused to work with a person. But everyone was screaming, "Oh, that person left. That person is in again. That person left." It's not about people. It's not about leaders. It is about a leading code, and we should apply this. And we should actually be very, very. If you want to support Hex, yes, reach out to new holders, but also be open-minded to verify why is a program clean or why is a program not working. But there are very good third-party programs out there, and it's worth studying it. And it's very hard, I know. Sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees. It's too much out there. I see the room is filling. I'd love to hear your opinions. I'd love to hear your critical questions. Please, if you come up with some contradicting or with some very provocative questions, the better, because only if you have very good questions and critical questions, everything surfaces, everything comes to surface, and you hear why things are real. So you're welcome to ask. Don't be polite. Just nice. Hello, Ellie and Eddie.
Hey, what's up? I tried the FairHEX. I did like a test stake a couple weeks ago for 30 days, and it's pretty cool. I got so it mints it as soon as you stake, and then you get more minted after the stake. I think. I was just wondering, what does the Hedron button do? Because I approved the Hedron button, but I'm not sure what it does.
I can post in a Telegram chat later the Hadron website where you can read in detail what Hadron does. Basically, it gives you a kind of collateral where you can borrow or collateralize your hex towards it or your hex stake, and you can also trade it. But you need to have staked a lot of hex in order to
Can you hear me?
mint. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yes.
Did
Basically,
we
ena-
did we lose
enabling,
FairHEX or?
excuse me. Okay, enabling the Hadron button means you're minting Hadron at the same time, but that implies another calculation.
I can't hear him talking. Do I need to leave and come back in, or is it a bad signal, or?
On my end, excuse me, let me see if I switch to another network quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I can hear FairHEX, so I'm not sure.
You can, okay, all right. I added another signal, so I have data and Wi-Fi, so should work. By pressing the Hadron button, you enable Hadron minting at the same time. So since we're working with the official contract, hex contract, that means hex contract allows you to mint Hadron. But if you enable it, for example, with small staking volume, you pay, the contract becomes more complicated, and you, with simple words, and you the transaction cost a little more, the transaction fees. So if you are staking, for example, let's say 1 million, 500,000 or above, then it definitely makes sense to mint Hadron. If you're staking below a few 100,000 hex, then I would not enable it because the transaction fees would exceed the value of minted Hadron.
Okay,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I understand. So, uh, so I'm guessing like once you approve that, then it mints the Hedron and it also converts into FairHEX, I guess, and then, but yeah, it's better to do with a larger stake. So I guess I should, because I just did a smaller one to test it out, so I should probably just disable it and then end the stake, right?
yeah. But it's enough if you decide right before unstaking. So if you, for example, set Hadron before you staked, and then it only matters for unstaking. So if you right before you unstake, if you switch it off in case you would, in case you had turned it on, then disable Hadron. If the stake is rather small, then just disable it before you unstake, or enable it before you unstake, depending on the size of your stake, of course.
All right, thank you. Um, yeah, that was just
Welcome.
one of the questions that I had. I gotta get back to work, so I'll probably just switch back to listener for now. But yeah, appreciate it.
Cool. Always welcome. Thanks for the kind words. Hold on. There is a request. Let's see. Hello back. Can you speak now? Can you hear well?
Okay, I can hear you again. I had to drop out and come back in. I can hear you fine now. Thank you.
All right. Cool. I also switched the signal. Maybe it was on my end. Who knows? However, I don't want to bore anyone with repeating the same stuff over and over. What I would like to announce is we're gonna have Twitter Spaces regularly now. Please join Telegram if you haven't yet. There is most of the information there. We exchange everything there. You can always get hold of me immediately because I will be online, or I am online every day let's say EST time zone plus 13. This is where I'm at home, and roughly, if I'm not traveling, I'm for 12 hours. You can reach me every day for immediate responses. We have all the links there. We exchange there on strategies. We exchange, we exchange on whatever you have the fastest reply to your question or to your encouragement, to whatever you want to mention, and get involved. When it comes to reaching new stakers, serious holders, they are not only measuring, as you know, if there's a working team behind, they are not only measuring the color of the website, but is there an active community? The more activity we show there, the easier it is to gain the confidence and the trust of new stakers, because the more stakers we have, the more profitable everything works for everyone else. It also works, thanks God, the tokenomics allow to be profitable with any number of stakers, with any amount of staking balance, but the more fun. Definitely. Maybe one thing I want to mention, we got the question recently a few times. What happened? Why do I not have that much hex as a RFI, or why do I have 0 until now? We always pay out in batches. That means 300,000 units have been allocated to the payout of hex reflection rewards. So a limited number of wallets receives it at the same time. That doesn't mean that it's not accumulated for everyone else. We have to make sure that the transaction fees remain in a reasonable frame. Otherwise, it doesn't make, nothing would make sense if the transaction fees would exceed it. So be patient. You will see your reflection rewards. You can even call to see how much has been accumulated. You can withdraw it manually. You get all the information in our chat, Telegram chat. You also can just wait until you get it automatically paid out. I made a couple thousand hex within the past weeks, only from reflection rewards, and then now I'm in the queue like some other people, and I'm waiting until it's my turn again, and then all the accumulated from every single transaction, the accumulated RFI rewards will be paid out to my wallet and to your wallet as well. Yeah, the more transaction going on, the better. So don't be fixated on the price. This is what I would like to repeat, because the price matters after the minting phase. During the minting phase, it goes like an oscillogram. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. And this is what we want to see. We want to see transactions. We want to see happy people who earn hex. That means we convert the hex into FairHEX. We add the bonus. You sell both. You get more hex than you had before to your wallet. And everyone else is receiving RFI rewards because they were holding. If you want to hold, you receive it too. All right, but you're also minting. All right. So any questions, any comment, any complaints, any encouragement, any partnership offer? I would like to repeat this point. Some of you haven't heard this at the beginning. We're actually scanning the market right now of third-party dApps that would like to use the official hex staking contract to stake their user funds, however they do that. And if they are staking with hex.com contract, why not staking through FairHEX? Because then that platform on top of it mints free FairHEX, plus it receives a higher yield on their stakes. They have more means to pay their participants. They are not customers in DeFi, so more their participants, or for themselves, or however they distribute their tokens. We have currently almost 250,000 FairHEX minted. 400,000 roughly are on the market because we have paid out some airdrops. on top of it. So we have roughly 410,000 FairHEX tokens circulating that are eligible to receive RFI. It means the usual recommendation that I say as a user, as an admin, as a founder, always in DeFi, try to strive for 1% holder share or participation share, and you will be good for that program. Buy more hex if you want to have more FairHEX, then buy more hex and mint FairHEX for free. So that's also maybe one more argument. We applied at CoinGecko and got rejected for the trading volume. That was the only point. And I also applied again recently, 2-3 days ago at CMC. Let's see if we get, we have a slightly higher trading volume recently. People are just holding. Stakes first have to mature until their yield hits the DEX, until their stakers are selling their yield. So our trading volume, since we discourage to buy, is very low. And as soon as we have a flow, a daily higher flow of trading volume, I think it will be easier to be accepted from coinmarketcap.com. And that also determines the price you see in MetaMask or Trust Wallet, because they are pulling the price feed from CoinMarketCap. And so in order to see FairHEX price in a wallet or on Etherscan, they're pulling the data from CoinMarketCap. It is required to be listed there first. So whoever was wondering why don't you see a price there?
I saw, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago that Pulse Police looked at your project and found it was a good project as well. I did notice that.
Yes. Well, we had a lot. Excuse me. We had a lot of very we had a lot of wind coming from there. I don't know where this atmosphere comes from suddenly. Maybe a burned child is shy of a fire, but the point is, eventually people start liking it. We have individuals who, I don't know, who have a resentment against the third-party platforms. I don't know where that comes from. But basically, yes, I think we're even pinned there since then. Let me see. I think we're still pinned there. As oh no, since communists came up, yeah, since a few days we are not pinned there anymore. But yeah, as number 2 of the pinned messages, we're still there. Yes. So we are accepted now and reviewed by Pulse Police, which basically verifies that if you stake your hex via the FairHEX platform, we are not in possession of your stake or of your hex that you stake. What a Pulse Police verification or review says is, you stake your hex and it goes right into the original staking contract of hex.com. All we have possession over is your hex yield, which goes right from hex.com's contract when you unstake to the DEX, is converted into FairHEX. We add some bonus on top and do what you will with it. Keep it, hodl in order to stock up during the minting phase, because once we have 1, 2, 3 whales coming in, it's done. The minting phase is over the moment that we have 600 million stake tax, and it means you cannot get more hex for free. Then they have FairHEX for free. Then FairHEX only will be paid out as a bonus on top, and yeah. Or you sell.
You mint it out of liquid hex or from the stakes, the token?
From the stakes. You stake, for example, 1 million token. You stake 1 million hex, 1 million hex, and then you mint thereby 8,333 FairHEX, to give you a number. That is paid out from the bonus pool until 5 million have been minted. Once this 5 million have been minted, only hex yield will be topped up by a bonus paid from the bonus pool, and that's it. So it will stretch for many years.
Can you can you mint it out of the old existing stakes?
Unfortunately not. That doesn't allow the tokenomics. What we need is your unstaked. We need the yield that you produce, basically. The platform FairHEX only works because we are not depending on our value is not given by the color of our program, or because we tell you we have a good idea. The value comes basically from the daily influx of maturing stakes and their yields. So when you unstake, you get your principal back to your wallet, and the hex yield goes right to the DEX. That creates buy pressure on our coin, and either you hold it or you sell it. However, this is where value is created from. A minimum value is coming from right the hex.com staking yield. And that's why we cannot use all existing hex stakes. Only stakes that are done into hex.com through our platform.
Okay, so I have to buy, let's say, get new hex and go through your page to create a new stake, and that's how I mint it. Is that my understanding correct?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. So kind of like Hedron. Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
What if somebody's using a staker app? Is that gonna work?
No, it has to go through our website.
Ah, okay.
All right. It would be good, for example, if we find partnerships with a platform where we say, if you want to go there, go there. Go to the third-party platform that is staking into hex.com. With your new stake, go there. They're staking through us and creating an additional benefit for you. That would be good. But existing stakes on other platforms or directly into a hex.com or staker app, unfortunately not. We need to have that unstaked yield that hits our DEX or hits the DEX with our coin. That only helps to fulfill the tokenomics.
Yeah, okay, I get it now. Thanks.
Sure, welcome. And as a reminder, please, people, our main platform where we are communicating everything and in real time is Telegram. Please don't hesitate, just join there and get in touch with us. Have a great day or a good night, everyone, and wish you a great journey in crypto. Take care. Daniel out.